Hey, what's up man, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to bringing you the best tips and tricks to kill it in Gods of Boom. I'm also a Gods of Boom partner, so any new news and info about Gods of Boom will be available here before anywhere else. So hit that subscribe button and set up notifications so you don't miss out. In this video, I'm going to share with you my best tips of getting you those high kill streaks like legendary and insane. Okay, so here goes some of the strategies that I use to get me those high kill streaks. Tip number one is something a bit strange, and it's something that I only learnt recently. It was when I was watching a video from a guy called Kona. There is a link to Kona's channel down below, and Kona is an old friend of mine. You might have noticed that on my videos the announcer and the music sound is actually turned all the way off. And that is because you can actually hear the gameplay and the sound effects from guns and the footsteps a lot louder if you just focus on those sounds. I was actually watching one of Kona's videos and noticed that the announcer volume was turned off, and I asked him why that was. He said that he was able to hear footsteps and also the guns that are being used in his area, so he could make a plan of what to do according to the sound that he could hear. And I thought that was stupidly smart, and why haven't I thought of that before? Now, people do this in other games like Call of Duty. You've heard of people wearing turtle beaches so you can hear footsteps. You've probably played some search and destroy matches where people are able to kill you and they know exactly where you are on a map, and you're like, what the hell? How do they know that I was coming around that corner? And turning down the announcer and music and turning up the sound effects is going to give you the ability to know where people are coming on the map, especially if you're wearing headphones. So thank you very much for that tip, Kona. A link to his channel is down below in the description. Tip number two is about strafing. Strafing is when you move left to right, or in any direction really, to make the opponent miss their shots. Strafing is pretty common in other games like Call of Duty again, but hasn't really transitioned over to other first-person shooters like Gods of Boom. Now, you can't really do strafing that well unless you are using the scout and or gear that makes you move quicker. So I would recommend using any gear that makes you move quicker, like the Jockey or any other gear that I probably haven't unlocked yet. But the idea is that as you are shooting the enemy, you move side to side so that they can't lock onto you. This is especially good against snipers that have that slow aiming and shooting circle, and whilst you're shooting them with the scout, you're able to get a lot more shots off than they are. I've also watched a lot of esports from last year on Gods of Boom and noticed that a couple of people did actually use strafing. They didn't use it consistently, but I could see that it was something that they were planning to do whilst they were engaging people. So it is something that is coming into Gods of Boom, but I feel like it's not quite there yet. So get practicing strafing and you'll be able to beat your enemies and get those high score streaks. Tip number three is to practice with higher sensitivity. The game does default to 70 when you start, but I do have this higher, and I feel like it does have its pros and cons. The higher the sensitivity, the quicker you're going to be able to move around the map and turn to engage enemies quicker. Unfortunately, because you are turning quicker, if you're trying to snipe someone, the reticle in the middle is going to move further than you're used to if you're increasing your sensitivity. So it is going to be harder to snipe when using higher sensitivity, but you can practice and get that down so you'll be able to snipe and move around the map quicker, engage with more people, and just generally boss it. Tip number four is to know your role in a match. Now, I'm going to do another video on this in the future, but I just wanted to touch on this one. If you're a shotgun assault rifle kind of player, then you need to be at the front. Vice versa, if you're a sniper kind of player, then you need to be at the back. Probably MGs need to be at the back as well, because they do have quite a lot of good supportive perks, but people rarely use the machine gun, so we'll kind of just ignore that. Anyway, so the snipers, if you've got people in the front, they could be doing the devastating damage, because the Last Breath and any other bolt action rifle are the highest damaging guns in Gods of Boom. A close quarters player's job is to protect the sniper at the back and to make sure that the map is always on your side. What I mean by that is there are two places in the map that you can spawn, so it's always going to be a tug of war to make sure that you control more of the map than the enemy team does. That way you can make sure that your snipers are protected and they're just killing it from the back. Vice versa, if you're a sniper, make sure you're not being ganked from the side, but also engage with the same people that the shotgun and assault rifle people are as well, because 2 people shooting at the same guy is going to kill him quicker than if you're all shooting separate people. Tip number 5 rolls on from that quite easily. I am a sniper shotgun player, so I will pick the best spots in the map to snipe from, but if I can hear footsteps coming from my side, I will switch to the shotgun quickly and take them out. Here is my favourite spot on this map, but I will sometimes run to the middle to take out people from around this corner, but I generally do stick to around this area. I have my favourite spots on each map, so you need to make sure that you know where you're going in each game. Okay, so tip number 6 is to move your HUD around to where you feel comfortable. Now, you've probably already done that, but I want to talk about the double tap switch combination thing that you can do. So the double tap on the screen can either be reload or it can be switch weapon. For me, it's switch weapon because I know where I've put the reload button is quite close to my thumb and I'm quite happy just to hit that quickly. But in a tight squeeze, I want to be able to switch my weapon without accidentally looking up. I've done that so many times. I've tried to hit the switch weapon thing to swipe up, but I've missed it, so I'm actually now looking at the sky and I get killed. So I really hope that you guys have the double tap as your switch weapon and not as reload. So here's a little recap on the tips that I've talked about today. Turn off announcer and music so that you can hear footsteps and guns that are being used around you, and then you know exactly where people are coming from on the map. Practice strafing left and right, and this will be absolutely crucial for people that use the scout or semi-auto sniper rifles like the Quicksilver as well. Use gear that makes your movement speed just that little bit higher so that you can move out of the way of the enemy shots if they're using the scout as well. This is especially good for people that use the scout against people that use the last breath or any other sniper rifle that has to wait before it shoots. Next one was sensitivity. Practice on higher sensitivity. Trust me, you won't regret it. I know it's going to be like moving from mobile to keyboard, because at first you're like, I can't use a keyboard and mouse. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And then you've got PC players that are like 12 years old that can wipe people because they just haven't practiced. So you trust me, stick your sensitivity higher, practice on it, you will get better and you will absolutely crush. Next one is knowing your role in a match. So if you're a sniper, stay at the back. If you're an assault rifle shotty, stay at the front to protect your sniper. Again, if this does seem a bit weird, I am going to do another video on this in the future to explain it a little bit better and show you the gameplay of where I was in the map and what I was doing, what my role was in the game and why it works so well. So if you haven't got this one yet, don't worry about it. There is going to be another video on it soon. Number 5 was knowing the best spots in the map that you like depending on your playstyle. So I know where I like to snipe from and I know where people are going to come from in the map, so I can switch to the shotgun quicker. Knowing that, you'll be able to practice in a particular spot and you'll just be able to crush it. And lastly, please, oh please, don't have the double tap for reload or the double tap for nothing. You need to have it on something at least, so please have it on the switch weapon. Okay, so you've got all those tips. You're now going to crush it in every single match. If you want to come talk to me, a link to my Discord is down in the description below. But if not, I will see you in the next game.